Most people wake up every day with no real plan. They open their eyes, grab their phone, check social media, and just drift into the day. They let life come to them instead of going out and taking control of it. But if you're serious about your goals, about your dreams, about your future, you can't live like that. You can't afford to live on autopilot. Every single day must be treated like a battle. When you wake up, you're not just waking up to go to work or go to school, you're waking up to fight for your future. You're waking up to outgrow who you were yesterday. You're waking up to dominate your space, to elevate, to go to war with comfort and laziness. You can't let the day dominate you. You must dominate the day. That means before the sun rises, you're already in motion. You've already mapped out your priorities. You've already checked your goals. You've already locked in your focus. Most people just float through life, hoping something good happens to them. But hope is not a strategy. Success doesn't respond to hope. It responds to action, to intention, to discipline. The kind of action that starts before the rest of the world is awake. You need to move with purpose. You need to walk like a person who knows exactly where they're going, even if nobody else sees it yet. You have 24 hours like everyone else, but what separates the greats from the average is how they use those 24. The great ones don't let minutes slip. They don't waste time scrolling, talking about nothing, or sitting around waiting for something to happen. They move with urgency. They act like time is a limited resource, because it is. Once it's gone, you don't get it back. So when you wake up, you need to tell yourself, this is my day. You need to claim that day. You need to walk into your responsibilities like a lion walks into its territory, bold, fearless, focused. When you treat your day with that kind of intensity, something shifts in you. You stop letting little things throw you off. You stop reacting to everything. You stop being distracted by things that don't matter. Instead, you stay locked in. You keep your eyes on the prize. You guard your energy. You only give your time and attention to what moves you forward. And the more you practice this, the more your mindset transforms. You go from being someone who drifts to someone who drives. You become a force. You become intentional with everything, how you spend your time, who you talk to, what you consume, and how you respond to challenges. Let me be clear, you will not dominate your day by accident. It takes effort. It takes structure. It takes you waking up with the same intensity that champions have. When you start your morning like a beast, the rest of your day follows suit. That's why your morning routine matters. That's why your habits matter. You can't wake up lazy and expect to win big. You can't roll out of bed with no plan and expect life to reward you. You must earn it. From the second your feet hit the floor, you need to be intentional. You need to move like your goals are watching, because they are. Your dreams are waiting to see how bad you really want them. There are people out there waking up before you, working harder than you, grinding longer than you, and you think you're going to outwork them with half the effort. Not a chance. You're competing with lions, and you can't come to the jungle acting like a house cat. You need to set your tone early. You need to attack the morning with hunger. You need to start every day with the mindset, I'm not just going to survive, I'm going to dominate. And that domination doesn't start at 9 a.m. It starts the moment you open your eyes. If you don't take control of your day will take control of you. You'll get pulled in every direction. You'll say yes to the wrong things. You'll waste hours on nonsense. But when you walk into your day with clarity and purpose, you move different. You speak different. You work different. You don't have time for gossip. You don't have time for doubt. You're too busy building. You're too focused on winning. That's how you win the day, by owning it, by commanding it, by walking into it with power, not passiveness. And every day you dominate adds to your momentum. You start stacking wins. And that's when the magic happens. You begin to build confidence. You begin to build discipline. You begin to build a lifestyle that aligns with the version of you that you were born to be. You're no longer hoping life gives you something. You're going out and taking what's already yours. You're executing every single day like your future depends on it, because it does. You want to talk about success. You want to talk about dreams, goals, legacies. Then understand one thing clearly: you can't have any of it unless you're willing to outwork the clock. Time is undefeated. It keeps ticking, whether you're working or not. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about how tired you are, how stressed you feel, or how much you don't feel like it today. Time moves forward, and if you're not moving with it, if you're not grinding with urgency, you're falling behind. Everybody has 24 hours, but not everybody uses them the same. Some people wake up and waste time complaining, scrolling bin, watching, sleeping in. Others, they're already deep in the grind while you're still debating whether to get up or hit snooze again. That's the difference. The greats don't wait for time, they chase it. They don't look at the clock and say, how much longer? They look at the clock and say, how much more can I get done before it strikes midnight? You have to flip the script. Stop watching the clock and start using the clock. Stop counting hours and make the hours count. You've got goals, right? You've got a vision, a dream, a family to provide for, a legacy to build. That means the clock is not your friend, it's your competition. Every second that passes is either a second closer to your breakthrough or a second wasted that you'll never get back. Every tick is either fuel for your fire or a reminder that someone out there is grinding harder than you. Someone out there is using their time more wisely, more efficiently, more aggressively. The clock doesn't sleep, and neither should your work ethic. Don't misinterpret this. I'm not telling you not to rest. But you don't get to rest just because the day ends. You rest when you've earned it. You sleep after you've drained every drop of effort out of your soul. After you've looked yourself in the mirror and said, I gave it everything. Not when you feel a little tired, not when you hit a minor obstacle, not when it's convenient, because comfort is the killer of greatness. When you're chasing something legendary, you've got to go beyond the average. You've got to get used to pushing past the point where others quit. Think about the hours you waste each day. Be real. Add them up, the time you spend distracted, procrastinating, doing things that don't serve your future. Now imagine if all that time was put toward your grind. Imagine how far ahead you'd be right now if you had used those wasted minutes to improve your skills, to plan your business, to hit the gym, to write that book, to study, to build. The only thing separating you from the life you want is how you manage those invisible hours when nobody's watching. Success is not built in the spotlight. It's built when you're grinding after hours. When the world is quiet and everyone else is relaxing, you're still locked in. That's when champions are made, when you're tired, when it's late, when you don't feel like it, but you still show up. That's the secret: discipline over desire. Most people work when they feel like it. The elite work regardless of how they feel. They don't let emotions dictate their hustle. They don't wait for motivation. They move on commitment. Look at the top athletes, the top entrepreneurs, the top creators. They all share one thing: an obsession with the grind. They're not counting hours. They're making hours count. They're outworking the competition day and night. Not because they have to, but because their vision demands it. They've set a standard for themselves that says, I will not be outworked. That's the standard you need. That's the mindset you need to adopt if you're serious about winning. Every time you think about quitting early or taking it easy, remind yourself, the clock is still running, your competition is still moving, and your opportunity is still waiting, but it won't wait forever. You've got to move like your life depends on it, because it does. The life you're dreaming about, it requires sacrifice. It requires consistency. It requires you to show up day after day, whether you feel like it or not. You don't get a pass because you're tired. You don't get extra time because you procrastinated yesterday. You don't get ahead by hoping. You get ahead by doing, by working when it's uncomfortable, by staying focused when distractions call your name, by grinding until the work is done, not until you're bored or frustrated or looking for something easier. You've got to become the kind of person who uses time like a weapon. Every hour is a tool. Every second is a chance. You don't just pass through the day, you attack it. You don't let moments slip, you seize them. That's how you build momentum. That's how you build results. That's how you build a legacy. You outwork the clock, and eventually time starts working for you. Pleasure is the easy choice. It whispers comfort. It tempts you with rest. It offers you shortcuts, distractions, and instant satisfaction. But pleasure doesn't build anything permanent. It doesn't grow you. It doesn't stretch your potential. If you chase pleasure, you'll always fall short of your purpose, because purpose isn't soft. Purpose isn't easy. Purpose is hard. It's demanding. It asks for your discipline, your sacrifice, your early mornings, your late nights. Purpose asks you to put aside the things that feel good right now so you can experience the greatness that lasts forever. Every day, you're given a choice, pleasure or purpose, and the scary thing is, most people choose pleasure without even realizing it. You pick up your phone first thing in the morning instead of picking up your goals. You scroll, you swipe, you get caught in things that make you feel good for 5 minutes but push you further from your destiny. You delay your work, you make excuses, you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, and all the while time is slipping away, progress is slipping away, purpose is being neglected while pleasure is being indulged. But the ones who win the real winners, they choose differently. They wake up and they say, what do I have to sacrifice today so I can become who I'm meant to be tomorrow? They understand that the grind isn't supposed to be easy, that it's not meant to feel good all the time, that purpose requires pain, pressure, and perseverance. They embrace the sacrifice because they see the reward on the other side. They don't run from the hard stuff, they run toward it. When you choose purpose over pleasure, you do the work even when it's boring. You train when it hurts. You say no when everyone else is saying yes. You delay gratification. You push away the temptation to chill, to waste time, to go easy. You keep your eyes on your mission, and you let that mission guide your choices. You don't let your feelings decide your actions, your vision does. That's how you separate yourself. That's how you get ahead. That's how you build the kind of life most people only dream about. Purpose isn't glamorous, it's not Instagrammable. It's waking up early when nobody sees you. It's staying up late working on your goals when everyone else is asleep. It's saying no to parties, no to distractions, no to comfort, because your dream is bigger than a night of fun. It's bigger than temporary happiness. It's something that will impact your life, your family, your future generations. And once you truly understand that, you'll never let pleasure steal your time again. Every time you choose purpose over pleasure, you're making a deposit in your future. You're investing in your next level. It doesn't always feel good now, but it always pays off later. That's the key. Purpose pays off, but pleasure, it fades, it disappears. It leaves you empty, needing more, craving another hit of something that will never truly fulfill you. But purpose fills you. It gives you peace. It gives you direction. It gives your life meaning. Some days, your body will beg for rest. Your mind will want to check out. Your emotions will try to convince you to take the easy route. But your purpose must speak louder. You have to remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of who you're doing this for. Remind yourself that greatness never comes from comfort, that every successful person you admire got there by making the hard choices over and over again. They chose growth over gratification. They chose pain over pleasure. They chose mission over mood. Discipline is born the moment you choose purpose when pleasure is calling. That's where strength is built. Not in the easy decisions, but in the tough ones, in the moments where you're alone, unmotivated, and tired, but you keep going anyway. That's where your next level lives. And if you keep choosing purpose long enough, something powerful happens. It becomes your identity. You don't have to force it anymore. It becomes who you are. You become the kind of person who shows up no matter what. The kind of person who finishes what they start. The kind of person who can be trusted with big responsibility, big opportunities, big dreams. And here's the truth. The world rewards purpose-driven people, not just with money or status, but with fulfillment, impact, legacy, the kind of reward that lasts, the kind that changes lives, the kind that lets you sleep peacefully at night knowing you didn't waste your time, knowing you gave it all you had. That kind of reward only comes when you consistently choose purpose over pleasure. So every time you feel tempted to relax when you know you should be grinding, remember what's at stake. Remember what you're building. Remember that comfort is temporary, but regret lasts forever. Make the hard choice now so you can live with pride later. That's the code. That's the mindset. Purpose over pleasure every single time. Sleep is one of the most powerful things the human body needs, but it should never be seen as automatic. It's not something you just get because it's nighttime. It's not a right. It's a reward. You don't deserve to rest unless you've done the work. That's a mindset that separates the average from the elite. Most people treat sleep like a habit. They put their head on the pillow and close their eyes whether they've earned it or not. But when you're on a mission, when you've got goals that demand greatness, you can't afford to live like that. You have to treat sleep as something you unlock through effort, through execution, through excellence. Ask yourself every night before you sleep, did I earn this? Did you give 100% today? Did you push yourself past comfort? Did you leave it all on the field, or did you coast? Did you cut corners? Did you avoid hard tasks and make excuses? If you didn't go all in, if you didn't show up for yourself, your dream, your family, then what exactly are you resting from? You don't rest from procrastination. You don't rest from playing it safe. You don't rest from wasting time. You rest from grinding. You rest after battle. You rest after the mission's been attacked with everything you've got. People say they're tired, but tired from what? Tired from scrolling all day, tired from talking but not doing, tired from being busy instead of productive. That's not tired. That's just guilt in disguise. You only truly earn sleep when your body can't go any longer because your heart, your mind, and your effort were all locked in. It's that deep fatigue that comes from knowing you gave your best, not some watered-down version of your effort, your full, honest, raw best. Too many people live in cycles of low energy because they sleep with regret. They sleep with tasks unfinished, dreams ignored, purpose untouched. But when you earn your sleep, you sleep with peace. You sleep knowing you moved the needle forward. You sleep knowing your actions today brought you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. That kind of sleep hits different. It's deep. It's refreshing. It fuels your comeback the next day. There's something powerful about laying your head down and knowing you didn't waste the day. Knowing you didn't just exist, you attacked the day with intensity. You made progress. You held yourself accountable. That's the kind of rest that recharges not just your body, but your spirit. But you can't cheat that feeling. You can't fake it. You only get it when your effort is real, when your discipline is consistent, when your grind is undeniable. Every time you hit snooze on your responsibilities, you delay your growth. Every time you choose comfort over commitment, you fall behind. And eventually, all those little moments you gave away, they stack up. Days become weeks, weeks become months. Then you wonder why your dream feels far away. It's because you've been resting without earning it. You've been collecting comfort instead of conquering challenges. There are people out there grinding for their family's future, putting in the work every single day without excuses. And you think it's okay to quit early, to stop when it gets hard, to call it a day when you know you've still got more to give. That's not how winners live. That's not how legacies are built. The people who make it, the ones who rise to the top, they don't rest until they've earned it. They don't quit because the clock says it's bedtime. They stop when the job is done. And the beautiful thing about this mindset is it spills into everything. When you live with this standard, when you only allow yourself to rest after you've gone hard, your entire life changes. You become more focused, more disciplined, more consistent. You start to respect your time, your energy, your opportunities. You stop settling for good enough. You start chasing my best. You stop ending your day with what you had to do and start ending it with what you chose to do because you were hungry, because you were driven, because you were committed to the vision. That's what it means to earn your sleep. To make your rest meaningful, to create a rhythm of work and recovery that fuels real progress. It's not about burning out. It's about showing up fully so when you lay down with honor. With pride, with peace, no guilt, no shame, no unfinished business haunting your thoughts, just the satisfaction of knowing, I did what I said I would, I became better today, I moved closer to my purpose. That kind of sleep is sacred, and it only belongs to those who work for it. So every day, wake up and remember, sleep is not given, it's not automatic, it's not a reward for showing up, it's a reward for showing out. Give your all. Do the hard things, finish strong, and when the day ends, earn your sleep. You can't fake hunger. You can't pretend to want it and expect to achieve it. Hunger is what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's what turns intentions into action and action into results. When you're truly hungry, not interested, not kind of motivated, but starving for your dream, there's a fire inside of you that nothing can extinguish. No obstacle, no setback, no rejection, no fatigue can stop someone who's truly hungry. Hunger makes you relentless. Hunger keeps you moving when motivation fades. Hunger is the drive that makes you show up even when you don't feel like it, because you understand that every second wasted is another second further from the life you want. Hunger is not about talent. It's not about what you were born with or what resources you have. It's about desire. It's about obsession. It's about the decision to stop making excuses and start making progress. There are people out there with less skill, fewer connections, less opportunity, and they're still winning. Why? Because they're hungrier than you. They're working while you're thinking. They're grinding while you're complaining. They're out there taking risks, facing fear, making moves because their hunger is louder than their doubt. Hunger is what makes you outwork the next person. It's what gets you up early and keeps you up late. It's what fuels the grind when your body says stop and your mind says no. If you're not hungry, you'll quit when it gets hard. You'll fold when life punches back. You'll settle for average when things don't go your way. But if you're hungry truly, deeply hungry, you'll find a way. You'll push past the pain. You'll sacrifice pleasure. You'll keep showing up until you break through. Because when you're hungry, failure isn't an option, it's a lesson. When you're hungry, setbacks don't stop you, they sharpen you. You've got to develop that beast mode mentality, that edge, that grit, that inner voice that says, I will not stop until I get what I came for. And you don't get that by reading books or listening to motivation. You get that by deciding every single day that your dream matters enough to struggle for, to fight for, to bleed for if necessary, because nothing great comes easy, nothing legendary happens in your comfort zone. If it's worth having, it's going to cost you something, and hunger is what makes you willing to pay that price. Too many people say they want success, but they don't want to grind for it. They want results, but they're not willing to change. They want the reward, but they avoid the sacrifice. That's not hunger, that's wishful thinking. Real hunger doesn't just want the dream, it demands it. It eats, sleeps, breathes the vision. It doesn't take days off. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't care what anyone else thinks. Hunger is tunnel vision. Hunger is isolation if necessary. Hunger is putting in the reps, doing the work, getting better every single day, whether anybody notices or not. If you're truly hungry, people will feel it without you saying a word. Your actions will speak. Your consistency will scream. Your growth will become undeniable. You won't have to announce that you're working. They'll see it in your results. Because hunger isn't loud, it's focused. Hunger doesn't boast, it builds. Hunger doesn't wait for motivation, it manufactures discipline. That's what champions are made of, and here's the truth. Hunger fades if you don't feed it with discipline. If you don't fuel it with action. That's why most people start strong but finish weak. They don't maintain the hunger. They let comfort creep in. They start thinking they've done enough. But the truly great, they never feel like it's enough. They keep reaching, keep grinding, keep learning, keep leveling up, because the hunger inside of them keeps reminding them you're not finished yet. So you've got to keep that hunger alive. Guard it, protect it. Remind yourself every morning why you started. Remind yourself of the vision. Think about the people depending on you. Think about the future version of yourself who's counting on you to not give up. That's the mindset you need. That's the fire you've got to feed daily. You don't need more time. You don't need more resources. You don't need someone to believe in you. You need to get hungry again. Hungry enough to sacrifice. Hungry enough to show up on the days it's hard. Hungry enough to stop settling and start becoming. Because when you're truly hungry, you don't wait for opportunities, you create them. You don't knock on doors, you kick them open. And when the world tries to hold you back, hunger is what pushes you forward. Stay hungry, stay focused, and earn every inch of your success like your life depends on it, because it does.